Hello and welcome to all the viewers tuned in on Forever Sports. It's the first match for the British and Irish Lions on tour to Australia. They're up against the Western Force in just a little bit. It's an absolute pleasure that I'll be taking you through this one as we kickstart the weekend here on Forever Sports. Get your refreshments top. Tell us from where in the world you tuned in. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey of rugby here on Forever Sports. Kick off at 12 o'clock South African Standard Time. And it's going to be go for the British and Irish Lions. They'll be looking to bounce back after that defeat to Argentina just prior to their departure to Australia, going down by 28 points to 24. But you pick, or they've picked, should I say, it's a side that you can imagine comes pretty close to the test team when that first test comes around. A couple of players coming in from Leinster. We'll go through the 23 in just a little bit. But give your comments in the comments section of your score prediction, number one, number two, where in the world you tuned in from as we go on this rugby journey together here on Forever Sports. I will be back in just a little bit. Stay tuned, stay buckled in. It's weekend of rugby. Of course, we're looking forward to the Springboks later on this afternoon against the Barbarians to kickstart their international season. So it's all going down here on Forever Sports. But until just now, I'll see you in just a bit. Testing 1, 2. Hello and welcome back here on Forever Sports. To all the fans tuned in, welcome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you tuned in from. It's always a rugby journey here on Forever Sports, and it's the British and Irish Lions who are touring Australia. And this is the first game to set the tone for the rest of the tour for the British and Irish Lions, of course. They'll be looking to bounce back, I beg your pardon, from their defeat to Argentina by 24-28 just prior to their departure. A couple of changes we'll go through in just a moment, but to the fans, give your score predictions. Give a shout out from wherever you tuned in from as well. Shout out to Andrew Neal, says, evening bro from Wales. Hope you had a big Ben pie for tea. Not tea time yet, but there's some other beverages on the way, Andrew. Saying I missed them. The Lions will win. Andrew says 34-21 to the Lions. There's our first score prediction. But do give us your score predictions in the comment section so we can interact with the fans. After all, we are, because of you, kickoff underway shortly. It's going to be an exciting clash, and you feel the test side will look something similar to the one picked by Andy Farrell. And on that note, let's go through the starting 23 of each side, starting with the British and Irish Lions from 1 to 23. We see the likes of Finn Russell back at fly half. Look out for his playmaking skills. But from 1 to 23, we have Piers Skuma, the South African, the Scottish international at loose head, Dan Sheehan at hooker, the Irish international captaining the side today, Tide Furlong at tight head, Scott Cummings, another Scottish international, Joe McCarthy at 5, 6, 7 and 8, Tide Byrne, Josh van der Fleer and Henry Pollock, the exciting English loose forward at number 8. 9 to 15, Thomas Williams, the Welsh international, Finn Russell, as we mentioned, always ready to make some magic happen at fly half. 11, James Lowe, look out for his big left boot. 12, Sione Tupolatu. Gary Ringrose coming in for Bandiaki. 14, Mac Hansen. and 15, Elliot Daly. The replacements, 16 to 23, Ronan Kelleher, Andrew Porter, Will Stewart, Ollie Chesham, Jack Conan, Alex Mitchell, Hugh Jones, and Marcus Smith. For the Western Force, 1 to 15, we've got Tom Robertson, Brandon Paenga-Mosa, Ollie Hoskins, Sam Carter, Darcy Swain, Will Harris, Nick Champion, Dick Crispini, and Violini Ekoasi at number 8. 9 to 15, Nick White, the captain, the Australian international, Alex Harford, Dylan Peach, Hamish Stewart, Matt Proctor, Mac Greeley, and Ben Donaldson answering the SOS after an unfortunate injury in training to Kurtley Beale at fullback. 16 to 23, Nick Jolly, Marley Pierce, Tian Taikipulu, Lopeti Faifua, Reed Principe, Henry Robertson, Max Bury, and Bailey Pinzel at number 23. It's a packed house. It's the start of the tour, and these two sides, of course, did meet back in 2013. The last time the British and Irish Lions toured Australia. Comfortable victors on that occasion by 69 to 17. Will we see some sort of resistance from the Western Force this time around? Will we see Australian rugby rise to the occasion under Joe Smith for this tour? The British and Irish Lions, of course, looking for a victory to set their tone on tour. But a pretty strong lineup, you would say, for the British and Irish Lions. A couple of the Leinster guys back as well. And we know all day, every day and twice on a Sunday, Sione Tuipulotu will be taking the ball up. Missing out on this occasion, the likes of Duan Fanamerva. Will he get a crack in the test team? Or will James Lowe stake his claim for that number 11 jersey? It's all to play for. As we build up to kick off, the side saying their last prayers, if you may, in the change rooms as they get underway to get out onto the field. Good to see you support, full house in the stadium. It's always a special occasion when the British and Irish Lions come around. Of course, they were in South Africa in 2021, in New Zealand in 2017. And the last time, of course, they came around to Australia was in 2013. They took that series by 2-1 after dominating that final test. Going into the final test, it was 1 apiece. But the British and Irish Lions blew away Australia on that occasion. We're 12 years later, and we're back at it for an exciting clash. Due to copyright strikes, we can't show any video. Fed Up 3449. Shout out for tuning in. But you'll have me in commentary here, taking you through each second of what's to be a pulsating clash. Andy Tanner says 38-7 to the Lions. Shout out, Andy. Where are you tuned in from? Welsh Jedi says 22-12 to the Lions. And he's tuning in from Wales. That's what we love to see. Or all around the world, should I say. Whether you're supporting the British and Irish Lions, the Western Force, the Stormers, Leinster, Scotland, New Zealand, the Crusaders. It doesn't matter. We're all in this together on a rugby journey. And it is rugby that binds us together as the players come out onto the field. It's fireworks. The action is soon to get underway. Are we in for a little bit of drama? We love to see that. As the testosterone, the emotions, everything unfolds in front of our eyes. But it's a special occasion for these players, perhaps only once in your career. If you take it the Western Force side, well, you have the opportunity to play against the British and Irish Lions. deep historical tradition. Of course, the Lions will be making their way to New Zealand in 2029 and then back to South Africa 2033. That's still some time away, but what's almost underway is this clash. The players are just about ready. The Western Force in their traditional blue kit, the Lions in red. And it's the experienced Ben O'Keefe is the man who has the whistle. He'll be guiding us through all the scrums, the line-out set plays, potential foul plays. We know the cards could come out plenty. But the players are just about ready. And I hope you are as well, with the beverage to go with the occasion. It's the British and Irish Lions tour to Australia who gets underway via the boot of Finn Russell from left to right as he kicks deep to Ben Donaldson. He finds his support. They put it down with the boot downfield, but here come the British and Irish Lions via Elliot Daly. He takes it up. He's brought to ground. Thomas Williams to Joe McCarthy. Over the advantage line they go. Starting with ball in hand here. Tight burn from Finn Russell. The Lions looking for accuracy on attack. The shape is good. Looking to counteract there were the Western Force. But the Lions have got it back. Keeping it in tight now via tight burn. Still in possession. James Lowe from Thomas Williams. They've gone back a few metres. They're on their own 10-metre mark centre field. James Lowe to Daly. Looking to break the advantage line. Tuipolotu going in to clean. They look hungry. Still keeping the ball alive. We're almost up to double figures in terms of phases. But still stuck between the 10-metre mark and 22 of the Western Force as they look to shift it down this right-hand side. It's Joe McCarthy, who's looked full of running already. Working their way to the 22 now. Kick pass from Finn Russell. It's accurate. He has an opportunity. James Lowe. Can he find support? He can find support. They open the scoring. And it's Dan Sheehan for the British and Irish Lions, who opens the account. The Western Force under defensive pressure. The Lions were looking for accuracy, and they found it via the boot of Finn Russell with the kick pass. James Lowe held it up just long enough to find support, and he found it in the form of Dan Sheehan, the hooker on this left-hand touchline. But what a kick from Finn Russell. If that's anything to go by, we're in for some power attacking play from the British and Irish Lions. 5-0 with the kick to come. It's Dan Sheehan who scores. The conversion sails over. Make that a full 7 with 3 minutes in. The Lions open the account. Shout out Peter Bale, who just became a sponsor here on Forever Sports. Shout out Charles Hermanis. In case you missed it, it's the British and Irish Lions who open the account with the first try, but from the kickoff, here come with the Western Force. They look to strike back immediately. They've regathered from the restart, and Nick White looks to find support. They got ball in hand. Nicely taken up there by De Crispini. And now looking to make headway on the Western Force, 5 metres out, looking to strike back here. Quick ball for Nick White. Finds Brendan Pangamosa, who takes it up. He's brought to ground. It's slowed down. Now it's the British and Irish Lions' turn to defend here. 5 metres out, 20 metres in from this right-hand touchline. Will they look to pick and go? They do, you know. They're 3 metres out. Great work from the restart to get themselves into this attacking position, you feel. But it's pick and go for the Western Force. Paenga goes in to secure the ball. It's advantage to the Western Force. They got a free play here. They can strike back. Nick White. It's gone wide down to the left winger. Dylan Peach to Ben Donaldson. Can he get over? Monumentous defensive effort from the British and Irish Lions. Still under penalty advantage. Try! They do strike back. And it's that man, Nick White. Most certainly not a fan favourite in South Africa. But if you're an Australian, it's rapturous applause as they open their account. With a try of their own, it's Nick White who scores. Captain today, wonderful take by Dylan Peach. Out of the air from the restart. Finding Sam Carter, and from then on in, under penalty advantage. They had a free play. They've utilised it to full effect. The long ball out to Peach again. Finding Ben Donaldson, who almost went over, but the recycle was good. And they're up and for the try. Is it going to be a try festival here this evening as Ben Donaldson looks to add the extra two? The strike is good. It's sailing. It's over. Shout out Marks, who says, White put his moustache on the line. That's what you gotta do, son. Just get it on a blade of grass over that white chalk. He's done just that. And the scores are level. We're 7 minutes in and it's 7 apiece. Donaldson almost looked to clear with the boot, but found Dylan Peach. They're full of running. Not held, so he goes again. Dylan Peach. Putting his name on the map here. Of course, these players looking to impress Joe Smith come test week. And unfortunately, on that occasion, it was Tide Bird penalised by the referee, Ben O'Keefe, not rolling away. Just outside the 22, 15 metres in from this left touchline. It's Donaldson who finds a net territorial gain. We're up and over and beyond the British and Irish Lions 10-metre mark now. We need accuracy at line-out time at all the set pieces, in fact. But after that early setback, it's the Western Force who are not taking it lying down. They've equalised, and now there's an opportunity. Paenga finds his man, Nick White, as they look to take it up centre field. Kawasi, and now Dylan Peach. After the ball was recycled, they're in the 22 and beyond. They're full of running. Peach again looks to pick from the base. Brought down by Henry Pollock. The Lions in 6s and 7s on defence. They're only 6 metres out. Are the Western Force. Ollie Hoskins taking it up. Another penalty advantage. The Western Force are yet to play. Nick White. A kick pass there. Just not accurate enough, but they're coming back for the penalty. And an opportunity for the Western Force to perhaps take 3 and gain to the lead for the first time. But the referee there, Ben O'Keefe, penalising Scott Cummings in over the ball off his feet. And will you have a look at that? They're going for the corner. They want to play some rugby. Yes, son. Of course, we're looking forward to the Springboks later on against the Barbarians to kick off their international season. Get our taste buds ticking here for some running rugby or the Western Force. They mean business. They've put it out 5 metres from the Lions. try line on this right-hand touchline. Carter takes it from Pangamosa as they look for a driving maul here. In possession. And another penalty advantage. Ill discipline costing the Lions. It's a free play for Nick White out the back. Big hit from Gary Ringrose. It doesn't matter, they're coming back for another penalty. Look for a deja vu. They're looking to gain some traction at the driving maul. Or the Western Force, will we see a repeat? Surely he's going to put it into touch. Yes, Donaldson will do just that. Reliable with the boot is the fullback. But the Western Force are here to play. You better believe it. 7 apiece, 10 minutes gone. And it's the Western Force with an attacking line out. Looks like an earlier replacement here for the Western Force. Reed Principe on the field for number 6, Will Harris. Big hit from Gary Ringrose, but all to no avail. They've got to defend their lines here. It's Pangamosa for the Western Force. This time the line-out not going according to plan, loose ball, but they still have it, the Western Force. They've gone back a few meters. Ikawasi takes it up. Look for him to take it over the advantage line. The Lions defending for all they're worth here. Nick White. They look for runners. Carter. They're building themselves back to the 5-meter mark. We're underneath the sticks. Here's an opportunity. Is there? Kick pass. Who wants it? It's too far. Not accurate on that occasion from Alex Harford. But offside at ruck time with the Lions. So a couple of penalties in succession. And the referee, rightly so, having a word now with Dan Sheehan, saying you got to sharpen it up or you're going to see some yellow. Somebody might go. The Western Force playing in the right areas of the field. And the option looks like it's going to be Ben Donaldson who's going to put it out on this left-hand touchline. So we're switching from right to left. But still hot on the attack are the Western Force. Give a shout out from where you tuned in, folks. It's a rugby festival here today on Forever Sports. Just getting our taste buds all salacious and ready for the box and the barbars as the Western Force have gone backwards a few meters, looking to drive it forward, but somehow it's turned over. Great work from the British and Irish Lions. They'll look to clear their lines here. Thomas Williams just looking to call in some reinforcements to secure the ball. They look to shape from the base with the right boot. He does find a safe touch. We're just outside the Lions 22 on this left-hand touchline. They managed to repel that attack. So not going according to plan for the Western Force there, but they will have an opportunity to regroup. A line-out throw beyond the 15. Taken up by Hamish Stewart. And they look to build again. Energy-sapping stuff as the Lions defend in the danger zone here. Inside the 22 now. Pangamosa from Nick White. Head down, sets up another ruck. Ball in hand. It's been all Western Force since that early try from Dan Sheehan. And still on the attack here. Finn Russell goes in to make a tackle. Nick White looking for support, finding it. Tight burn. You got to get away there. The player had a knee on the ground but turned over by the Lions. And here come The British Lions chasing downfield after it was booted ahead by Tuipolotu, but the Western Force have managed to regather. They've gone back a whole 40-odd meters, but now, importantly, with ball in possession. They got to consolidate here. Nick White, will he look for a contestable? He does put it high. Dylan Peach chasing hard. It's got just too much on it. But great defence on Elliot Daly. Safe hands under the high ball, but he's brought to ground. Henry Pollock loses it forward. The Western Force will have a scrum advantage as they look to play. They keep it alive. Shifted out to the right wing. McGreedy brought to ground. Can they keep it alive? They do just that. We're 5 meters in from this right-hand touchline. As Darcy Swain takes it up. It's all out attack here from the Western Force. Unfortunately, on that occasion, the last pass going into the hands of Sione Tuipolotu. And it's Elliot Daly pumping it upfield. And they've got to go all the way back to the Western Force. It's not out. The ball's in play. And it's Finn Russell. And now it's the British and Irish Lions via James Lowe. After absorbing all that pressure. Gary Ringrose puts it on the boot. There's space. It's in the corner. We're 5 meters out from the Western Force try line. Back and forth, to and fro we go. But they manage to secure possession. They'll look for a better angle here for Nick White to clear. Pango Mosa takes it up. Looking for that right boot from the base is Nick White for the Western Force. And this time around makes no mistake. Puts it into touch. We're just outside the Western Force 22 on this right-hand touchline. High-octane stuff in this first clash. The Lions defending for the most part of this first quarter. Now with the first real opportunity from a set play to attack. It's Sheehan looking for Joe McCarthy. It's loose, but Sheehan picks up the loose ball and sets up a ruck. Thomas Williams to Furlong. Caught behind the advantage line, but Tide Byrne takes it off him. He's brought to ground. Great defence here from the Western Force. Henry Pollock. He looks to break away. He's got the pace and the elusive feet. Henry Pollock. Try time. Holds it up for Thomas Williams. And just like that, they'll hurt you. Absorbing the defensive pressure on their own line in their danger zone. But it's the playmaker, the youngster from England, Henry Pollock, with the dancing feet. Lovely little soft pass and then running the support line. And then it was Thomas Williams, as a scrum off would do, running his own support line, who goes over for the try. The British and Irish Lions up to 12 with their second try. The conversion successful, 14-7. What a first quarter it's been. Dan Sheehan and Thomas Williams on the score sheet for the British Lions. And for the Western Force, it's Nick White, but it's Henry Pollock there. Individual brilliance. And then the pop off the ground to his support. Thomas Williams, you beauty. Go, go, go. Buddy Hickey says, Munster Island, shut out. As we get underway with the restart, it's contestable again, and this time the Force almost managed to regather again. So, couple of Restarts gone a begging for the Lions. They won't be happy with that. They set themselves high standards. You heard Andy Farrell after that game against Argentina. Very disappointed. This is the creme de la creme of England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. They will be expecting more from themselves. The Western Force, up to this point, with all the territory, all the possession, 69 to 31 respectively for each. But trail on the scoreboard, the Lions just that more efficient with ball in hand. As Thomas Williams looks to feed, we have our first scrum. Solid set from both teams. Pollock takes it up from the back and feeds Chui Polatu, who hits it up onto the advantage line. Thomas Williams again looking for the miracle ball out to Mac Hansen, who has to come back in field. Well met on defence, Mac Hansen. Very elusive is the Irish wingers. Hendrik Pollock takes it up from Thomas Williams. And now he'll look for a contestable. It's gone high. Perhaps not the distance he would have liked. Who's got it? Penalty. Not retreating within the 10-metre mark. Or the Western Force. On that occasion, looks like it was Sam Carter. Well taken out of the air by Joe McCarthy. But an opportunity for Elliot Daly with a massive left boot to put it upfield. The angle's good for him as they take it up. Between the 10-metre mark and 22 of the Western Force on this left-hand touchline. 2 visits into the opposition territory for the Lions, 2 tries. That part has been accurate, but after conceding a number of penalties, they now find themselves with ball in hand and attacking. Inside the Western Force half, Finn Russell looks to feed Gary Ringrose, but he's wrapped up. Tide Furlong out the back as they look to break away here. Tui Polatu. Wonderful hands by Finn Russell, but tucked up right against this left-hand touchline, just outside the 22. Furlong, Mac Hansen, as they look to punch it up down the middle. They set up another ruck. Unfortunately, on that occasion, an unforced error, just not able to hold on to the pass there was Dan Sheehan. Got a try to his name already, but you can see Finn Russell looking to pull the strings at number 10. Just lacking accuracy on that occasion. In case you've missed it, Dan Sheehan opened up the scoring for the Lions, followed by a try from Nick White and then a response from Thomas Williams. So both scrum-offs getting on the score sheet here this evening. All-out action as we're in the second quarter. It's the Western Force who will feed via Nick White. Solid set, 15 metres from this right-hand touchline outside the 22. They look to play. Dylan Peach with ball in hand. Sets up a ruck. Ekawasi over the advantage line, pumping the legs. The big number 8, Nick White. Donaldson in it. First receiver, Panga Mosa looking to step. He's brought to ground. They're almost up to halfway now. They want to play. Do the Western Force, just caught behind the advantage line on that occasion was Hamish Stewart. Nick White looking to shape from the base with the right boot. The chase from Greeley, but easily taken out of the air. Elliot Daly feeds James Lowe, who pumps it on the boot. All the way upfield. It's gone too far. We're going all the way back. Unforgiving is the bounce of the rugby ball sometimes. It could have almost worked out for James Lowe. A massive left boot. down this right-hand touchline, but just beyond the corner flag, and almost a 50-22. That would have put them right on the 5-meter mark. But as a result of the bounce of the ball, we're going back for a scrum. We're between the 10-meter mark and 22 of the British and Irish Lions. The Western forced to feed 5 meters in from this right-hand touchline. Nick White to feed. Solid set first time around in the engine room for both sides. And another strong scrum from the Western force, putting it on the Lions here. The referee saying use it. But not good. Not a good look, should I say, if you're a British and Irish Lions fan. The Western force putting it on them. And looking to attack just outside the 22 centre field. Nick White plays down the right-hand side. Paenga Mosa, full of running the hooker. Slow ball here for the Western force, but still in possession, importantly. Up to phase number 6 as they look to shift it to Dylan Peach. Elliot Daly misses the tackle. Mac Hansen looking to feed Ben Donaldson, who just couldn't find the inside ball to one of his support runners. And 10 meters out from the British and Irish Lions try line, they intercept the pass and set up a ruck to potentially clear their lines here. But the Western force with some enterprising play, it must be said, asking all sorts of questions of this Lions defence. And Thomas Williams will have the safety of the touchline to put it out and give them some reprieve for the moment. But the missed tackle from Elliot Daly on Dylan Peach, and then to keep the ball in short. And finally support outside. Ben Donaldson looked to give it back, but just in the passing lane was one of the British and Irish Lions defenders. But here come the Western force again. The line out is secured, but an unforced error. Just not able to collect the pass. There was Hamish Stewart for the Western force. They want to keep those unforced errors to a minimum. Camping out inside the territory of the Lions are the Western force. They just want to capitalize and turn that pressure into points. But asking the questions on that occasion, just dropping the ball cold, was Hamish Stewart for the force. Centre field between the 22 and 10 meter mark of the Lions. It's Thomas Williams to feed. You can bet they'll be looking to get the ball downfield. They don't want to spend such a large portion of the game inside their own half. It's gone down, but they play on. Pollock to Finn Russell as they look to break clear. Ringrose to Mac Hansen, puts it on the boot. Who wants it? We wait to see who had the last touch there, but it was Gary Ringrose, who almost got his hands on the ball, but put on the boot by Mac Hansen. The chase was good. Did it come off his hand? It looks like it. What are we looking at here? Is there a late tackle from Dylan Peach? Oh, you're going to have a penalty. Mac Hansen has stayed down. As we approach the half-hour mark, it's the British and Irish Lions ahead by 14-7, but not having the turn of events their own way at the moment. Andy Farrell, if looks could kill, I'd be dead. Not quite happy at the moment. No late tackle call there. You feel he was perhaps just milking it a little bit, adjudged by the referee to have come off Gary Ringrose's hand. It's a scrum down. Another strong scrum from the Western Force as they look to get over the advantage line and do just that. Nick White, centre field, down this right-hand side. Finds his fly off. Harford puts it down the middle of the park, saying to the Lions, come at me, bro. Daly to Hansen. Slippery as ever, not held. Gets up again. But he's brought to ground. Thomas Williams. Tui Pilotu. Finn Russell. Elliot Daly, the ball going through the hands. And now Gary Ringrose putting it on the boot with the grubber. But wonderful work from the Western Force as they look to come charging ahead. It was Greeley there making some good meters, and they put it on the boot again, forcing the Lions back into their own half. But Daly puts it on the left boot. Donaldson got a bit of a kicking battle going on here. Finn Russell inside his own 22 has the safety of the touchline, and he does find a safe touch. Great work from the Force, putting pressure on the Lions, perhaps expecting them to kick, but it was Greeley who came running back, and then they put it on the boot. And with that exchange, the Western Force find themselves between the 10-metre mark and halfway on this right-hand touchline. Pangamosa finds his man. Ekawasi, it's a loose pass. Mac Hansen looks to pick it up. It's an advantage, scrum advantage to the Force. We're going to come back. Just lacking accuracy were the Western Force in that back line. The attacking shape perhaps not quite what they would have wanted. What are we going to look at here? Late tackle. Is it on Matt Proctor there? No, says the referee. Some hits coming in off the ball. Judged by the referee just to be rugby collisions. But Proctor stayed down. Half an hour has flown by here in this first tour game. Down under in Australia. The Lions ahead by 2 scores to 1. All 3 tries converted. 2 by the Lions. 1 by the Western Force. Most certainly not what they would have wanted in terms of where they're playing on the field. But you've got to give credit to the Western Force. They're up for this clash. Only trailed by 7. Putting on a real show here for the fans. Time off for the moment, as Proctor is getting some attention. He's up. And he's ready to go, and we're almost ready to get underway again. With the scrum down, Mac Hansen, I beg your pardon, almost picked up the loose ball. Fortunately for the Force, he knocked it on. So we're going to have a scrum down when play restarts. And up to this point, we've seen the Western Force really knuckle down at scrum time and put some massive pressure on the British and Irish Lions. Nick White to feed. We're on the 10-metre mark, 20 metres in from this left-hand touchline. This time a stronger set from the Lions as they look to get over the advantage line. It's Harford from Nick White. They're up and over halfway. Donaldson along the ground finds Elliot Daly, who decides to put it upfield. There is cover at the back. Booted upfield by the Western Force, and now James Lowe decides, I want to have a crack with the boot. A bit of a kicking duel at the moment. Where does the ball bounce? They've kicked it centre field. And now it's Mac Henson who can come running at the force. He's wrapped up on defence. We're working ourselves up to the 10-metre mark. Joe McCarthy caught behind the advantage line. Strong defence by the Western Force. Tui Polatu. Gary Ringrose can't get away. Josh van der Fleer been relatively quiet by his own standards up to this point. Thomas Williams, Sapir Skuman. They're over the 10-metre mark. Oh, the Lions still have ball in hand. Put on the boots. It's Mac Henson, a lovely kick. He's held up by Dylan Peach and wonderfully ripped out of the British and Irish Lions possession, and the Force come away with it. Put on the boot. There's no one chasing. The ball's going to stay in field. Peach is coming, rushing through. Pollock with a rather innocuous pass to James Lowe. He has to clear the lines, but it's not going to find touch. It's finding a lot of open play, and Nick White clears it too. Harford, some tired bodies from both sides, but the ball's still in play. Proctor, almost catastrophic turn of events for the Lions, but here come the Western Force. Up and over the 10-metre mark in possession. Dylan Peach looking to step in field. Can't get away from Mac Henson. The counter ruck is strong from Joe McCarthy. And here come the Lions now. It's their turn to attack. Just too far, you feel. It's going to bounce over the try line of the Western Force. You can see some players taking some deep breaths. But the Lions have done well to recover. Henry Pollock almost playing with fire, feeding it off to James Lowe, but he had the presence of mind, the calmness to put it on the boot. Subsequently, a couple of years later, the Force were challenging again on attack. What are we looking at here? Was there any sort of trip? No, says the referee again. A rather squeaky clean first half up to this point, barring a couple of penalties in terms of ill discipline, some unforced errors. But no foul play to speak of as Nick White gets us underway with the goal line dropout. Henry Pollock comes charging ahead. Little over 5 minutes to play here in the first half. The Lions will be looking for another score, just to make it a little bit more comfortable. It's a bit edgy at the moment. Can this defensive effort from the Force hold out come the 60th minute mark? Doing well at the moment, but unfortunately on that occasion, overplaying their hand. It was Sam Carter playing the 9. You can't do that, son, and it's going to be a penalty to the British and Irish Lions. Just a little bit over-eager. Almost apologised immediately. But you can't play the 9. And it's a tap and go here from the Lions. Finn Russell looking to do one over the Western Force, and it's Elliot Daly who's in for the try, awarded by the referee. You take your eyes off it for the moment, and the Lions will hurt you. They've done just that. Finn Russell, a striker genius. You thought he's going to put it into touch. Dare you say you thought he's going to go for the 3? It was within range, but he went for a tap and go, just to change the dynamics here. And that one's going to hurt the Force. They switched off for just a second. And that's what an international player of his caliber will do. Finn Russell finding Elliot Daly. He had the vision. The defence was always backtracking. Henry Pollock was in support. Popped it off the ground, and Elliot Daly's over for the try. Try number 3 for the Lions. Somewhat against the run of play, you feel. A little bit argy-bargy. Yes, son. Joe McCarthy, who else? After the fact. But just a bit of jersey tugging. You can feel the frustration lingering in the air. But score your points first, and then worry about that razzle-dazzle, son. The Lions have done just that. They're ahead by 19-7. Finn Russell with 2 out of 2 so far. Matt Lawson, shout out here on Forever Sports. Thank you for tuning in and subscribing. Finn Russell down the middle, splits the uprights. It's over. They're ahead by 21-7. Desperately would have wanted a third score before half-time. They've got just that. A little bit of argy-bargy after the try was scored. Deep down, we always like to see a little bit of that, don't we? But let's get back to rugby as the Western Force do just that with the restart. It's Dylan Peach again. 3 restarts now. The British Lions will have to look at fixing that. You can't afford that, especially when the tests come around and it's a penalty to the Western Force. With a little over 3 minutes to play, it's within range, you feel. But the way, the order of events today, you can imagine they're going to go and put it deep into the territory of the Lions via the boot of Ben Donaldson. Perhaps not the angle that would suit him, but he's done very well. 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline. He's put it between the 22 and try line. So you feel this is one final opportunity for the Western Force before half-time to strike back. We know they're more than capable. They just want to be accurate on attack. The Lions with tries with each visit into the opposition half. They want to return that favour and get one back here. Get their second score and get into double figures. Paenga Mosa. Just as I say that, an unforced error gives the Lions an opportunity to relieve the pressure. The Lions ahead by 21-7. Keith Evans, shout out. Scrum advantage to the Lions. It's Thomas Williams from the base. Will look to clear. You feel the referee will call advantage over. He does just that. It's into touch between the 22 and 10 meter mark. So not capitalizing on the territorial position, should I say, with possession are the Western Force in the right areas of the field, asking the right questions, but just the unforced errors hurting them at the moment. Paenga Mosa to feed. Just over a minute to normal time. Nick White looks to find Dylan Peach. He does find him. Bumps away Thomas Williams. The bus is full, son, but eventually brought to ground. They're back inside the 22 are the Western Force. Peach goes in. I've been really impressed with him in this first half. The left wing of the Western Force. Nick White at the base. They're just inside the 22. They want to be accurate. You feel the lines are offside. Being forced to defend here. Can the ball come out quicker at ruck time for Nick White to put some pressure on this defense? Taken up by the loose head prop. Hoskins. It's advantage to the Force. The Lions. You've got to release the tackle player. Ben O'Keefe on the spot. Henry Pollock pinned by the referee. In fact, it wasn't Hoskins. It's Tom Robertson, the loose head prop. My apologies. Ollie Hoskins is the tight head. but they put it into touch nonetheless. And this now the final opportunity as the clock is in the red. We're 5 metres out on this left-hand touchline. The Western Force looking to go into double figures. Desperate to close the gap at the moment. It's 2 scores, 14 points to draw level. Pangamosa finds his jumper as they look for a driving maul. Not going anywhere for the moment. Dylan Peach comes in. They're looking to get over the line. Held up for the moment. The Lions doing just enough, you feel. Over the line, oh, the Force. What is the call here by the referee? And in fact, it's Henry Pollock has gone to the bin. It is held up over the line. The call's been made. That will be half time. The Lions down a man with that yellow card to Henry Pollock. The Force need to capitalise in the second half. Andy Farrell's going to have a real go, you feel, at his side. Not entirely satisfied with where they're playing on the field, but credit must be given to the Force. They had to play. And in the first half of this clash, it is the British and Irish Lions ahead by 21 points to 7. Do join us for the second half in just a little bit. Testing 1, 2. Let's go. Hello and welcome back here on Forever Sports. The first half is done and dusted. It's the British and Irish Lions ahead by 21 points to 7 against the Force. In case you missed it, the Western Force have really put up a real fight to make a game of it here in this encounter. The first tour match down under in Australia. It's 3 tries converted by the Lions to the 1 converted try of the Western Force. We're underway in the second half. It's the Force kicking off from left to right, and it's a missed catch there by the British and Irish Lions, and it's Mac Hansen who cleans up from Elliot Daly. They're 5 metres out from their own try line. The restarts have been rather average for a team of this calibre. The Lions putting themselves under all sorts of pressure early on in the second half. Thomas Williams from the base doesn't find touch. Kept it in field, and it's Greeley who takes it up for the Western Force. They're just outside the 22. They'll be looking to strike first. As Hoskins, the tight head prop, takes it up. He's brought to ground. Sam Carter from Nick White sets up another ruck. The Lions down a man in the form of Henry Pollock. Can the Force capitalise late in that first half? Getting that yellow card. Still 7 odd minutes to play with the 1-man advantage. The Force in possession 5 metres from this right-hand touchline between the 22 and 10-metre mark of the Lions. Can't make any headway for the moment. Knocked on by the Lions. They were in and over the ball, but just couldn't hold on to it. The Force will have another bite here in an attacking position. They want to do more with ball in hand, you feel, in my opinion, in that first half. Territory and possession speaks for itself. The Western Force miles ahead on that front, but just not on the scoreboard, managing to convert that sort of pressure. It's going to be a scrum down to the Western Force. Nick White to feed. They've gotten some good traction at scrum time, have the Western Force. The Lions scrumming with 7. The pass out wide to Greeley. Bounces first, but he manages to pick it up and get over the advantage line. We're 5 metres out from this left-hand touchline. It's Nick White who finds one of his tight forwards there, almost just about in the 22 of the Lions, who have to defend here. A man short. Can they find the attacking shape here, the Force? Playing left to right. Donaldson in at first receiver. Greeley coming off the right wing, looking for work and making some meters. They're only 6 metres out now. Hainga Mosa hit down, charging ahead, but he's brought to ground. The referees called them for a neck roll, the Force. Unfortunately, on that occasion, in an attempt to clear out, have copped a penalty from referee Ben O'Keefe. It's Painga Mosa, it seems, who's the culprit. The Lions will be able to clear and now get into the half of the Force via the boot of Finn Russell. A welcome penalty for the Lions. Wouldn't you have wanted to be in that team changing room at half time with Andy Farrell having a go at his men? They're ahead by 2 scores in terms of the scoreboard, but not playing to their full potential, you feel, with all these players they have at their disposal. The caliber, should I say, of the highest order, the best from Ireland, Scotland, England and Wales, but it's a Missed line out, and Greeley's coming into the game now. He saw Dylan Peach do it in the first half. Looks for work. The lovely pass out to Peach. Fins off McHanson. Can't get away from Dan Sheehan, but still in possession of the force. Nicking a line out off the Lions. They want to be more accurate in their set plays. Taken out of there by Elliot Daly, but obstruction, says referee Ben O'Keefe. And the Force have a penalty just inside the half of the Lions. 5 meters in from this right-hand touchline. Put it to the corner, son. Let's get on a bicycle and start pedaling here. Ben Donaldson will look to do just that. And he puts it into touch on the 22 on this right-hand touchline. The Western Force will have an attacking line-out. Obstruction there from McHanson. Referees are very strict. You've got to allow the contest to be 50-50. The Western Force again over the 15-meter mark and over the advantage line they go. They're only 12 meters out now. Oh, the Western Force centre field. The Lions not overcommitting at ruck time. But it's a loose ball and picked up by the Lions, and they can look to attack here. Joe McCarthy finds James Lowe from McHanson, and the Lions are away now. Have they got the pace out wide? James Lowe all the way. Surely now he finds Thomas Williams. Looks like he's done a hamstring. It doesn't matter, he's got the try. And the transition from defense to attack. Pristine from the British and Irish Lions. They're in for try number 4. And Thomas Williams is in for a brace. They were defending inside their 22. The loose ball. And they broke away. James Lowe finding Thomas Williams, who was flying down this right-hand touchline. Just about did a hamstring. Using all the fuel in the tank, but getting over for the try. The conversion this time around, it's the first miss of the evening. The Lions ahead by 26 points to 7. Shout out Kieran Davis. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing my best, brother. And Thomas Williams will be coming off the field. And it's going to be Alex Mitchell to replace him. First change here for the Lions. Couldn't ask for more, scoring with the man down. Stretching the lead to 19 points. And that's the evening complete for Thomas Williams. He's got a brace. He'll be happy with his performance. But still a lot of rugby to play as the Force get us underway with the restart just outside the 22. First touch for Alex Mitchell off the bench. He'll look to shape with a kick. He does so. Good weight, good height. It's contestable, and it's going to bounce in favour of the Lions, and the Western Force again caught for not retreating. The required 10 metres. And that penalty should get the Lions further upfield into the territory of the Force on this right-hand touchline. Ekawasi pinned by the referee. It's Elliot Daly with ball in hand who puts it to boot. And a wonderful touch finder between the 10-metre mark and 22 of the Force are the British and Irish Lions. as they look to send on their replacements here. We see Andrew Porter coming on the field, as Henry Pollock also returns to the fray, having served his time in the bin. Andrew Porter replacing Piers Skuman. Whole host of changes here for the Lions. Will Stewart, Dwight Furlong, Cummings, Chesham. Fresh legs for the British and Irish Lions. Jack Conan on the field for Tide Bird. For the Western Force, Faifua on the field for Carter as the Western Force look to defend their lines here, but it's a loose pass from the Lions. James Lowe forced to put it on the boots. Finds a blade of grass infield, and we're going to be pinning the Western Force back inside their own 22. Not as efficient and accurate as they would have liked, the British Lions. But nonetheless playing in the right areas of the field. The Western Force via Pangamosa win the line out. The Kawasi head down, looking to break the advantage line. He's brought to ground. Nick White at the base. Inside his 22 will look to find touch. And a good one at that, almost up to halfway are the Western Force. They will concede possession, however. In case you're just tuning in now, it's the British and Irish Lions ahead by 26 points to 7. 3 out of 4 tries converted. Dan Sheehan, Thomas Williams, Elliot Daly, and Thomas Williams again. That last try, great work in terms of transitional play as the British and Irish Lions look to go in the attack here inside the half on the 10-metre mark. It's out to Hansen. They're up and over the 22. Yes, a try for Gary Ringrose. Go, go, go. That's try number 5. And you feel at some stage or another now in the second half, this game is going to open up. But it's a try for the outside centre, Gary Ringrose. Stretching the Western Force defence. Elliot Daly out to Mac Hansen. Running down the touchline and finding his support on the inside in the form of Gary Ringrose. And that is try number 5. Shout out Louis Topsy. They're up to 31 points to 7. The last time these two sides met, of course, went in favour of the British and Irish Lions by 69 to 17. A lot of enterprising play we've seen from the Force in that first half. They just couldn't convert it to any sort of points to close this gap, which is widening at the moment. Perhaps a bit more relief for Andy Farrell at the moment, as we're in well into this third quarter. Another restart from the Western Force, and they get it back. Would you believe it? That's almost 4 out of 4 from the restarts. A real issue there for the British and Irish Lions, now having to defend just inside their own half here, 20 metres in from this right-hand touchline. The Force need to find some sort of attacking shape here and quicker ball at ruck time. Hoskins takes it up, the tight head prop from Nick White. Great defence from Gary Ringrose as they look to reset on defence. and push the force back, which they've done inside their own half. Nick White. Robertson, the loose head prop now, sets up another ruck. We're in the 8th phase, but they've gone back all 15, 20 meters. And it's the British Lions via Henry Pollock who puts it on the boot. The bounce is good. Can he keep it alive? Henry Pollock back from the yellow card, back in to the thick of things, looking to make amends. But the Lions looking for their 6th try. Surely now it's got to go wide. Joe McCarthy is over. They're up to 38 with the kick to come, and it's try number 6. And it's starting to open up like the Red Sea for the team in red. But Henry Pollock, another piece of individual brilliance. The bounce of the ball favoured him. Looking for the offload, but did well to get back to his feet. He wasn't held. Recycled the ball, and then it went wide. And the big lock forward, Joe McCarthy, goes over for the try. Try number 6 in the corner. And Finn Russell looks to add the extra 2. Spits the upright. Missed on his last attempt. Not on this occasion. It's over. And we're up to 40 points to 7. Long ball out from Josh van der Fleer, finding Joe McCarthy. And they're starting to find their rhythm now. Where's this been in the first half? Andy Farrell is asking. The restart again. The Western Force have it back. Dare I say it? Can't do much with ball in hand, but you have to give credit to the defense. The line speed, putting all sorts of pressure on the Force. Now Donaldson has to clean up. But he's hunted down. They've gone back another 20 meters, but we're coming back. It was a scrum advantage to the Western Force from the restart. Another change for the Western Force. Painga Moso off the field. He's had a couple of bullocking runs. There's the hooker for the Force. Trail by 7 to 40. They had some traction in that first half at scrum time. They've got the numbers in terms of territory and possession. They've had more carries. But it's what you do with the carries as well that matters most. And it's Nick White to feed 5 meters in from this right-hand touchline on the 10-meter marker of the Lions. The Western Force look to break clear over the advantage line. They caught on it. But Nick White throws a loose ball. It's intercepted, and now the race is on. Who's got the chase? It's going to be Hamish Stewart there. The inside centre back in cover for the Force, but it's going to be a goal line dropout. You kind of feel Nick White forced that last pass from the base there. Put to boot by the Lions. The race was on. But getting back there was Hamish Stewart for the Force. The restart. This time the Lions have got it, but they've knocked it on. Hugh Jones on the field. It was him who put the kick ahead. But on that occasion, from the goal line dropout, an unforced error in collecting the ball. We're inside the 22, 15 meters in from this right-hand touchline as we approach the last quarter. The Lions scrum has only seemed to get stronger in the second half. as we see Robertson coming onto the field for Nick White. No doubt we'll see him later on in the series, come the test matches. David Walker, shout out, says, I think McCarthy showed just how much better a player than Itoje he is. Very valid point there, David Walker, as the Western Force look to get it in and out at scrum time. I don't want to linger longer. In that engine room, the Lions come running back after the ball was booted upfield. Alex Mitchell. We're on halfway as he looks to play down this blind side. Can he find support? Finds James Lowe. Looking for work from the left wing here. Down the middle. Go the Lions. Charging ahead. And the Western Force intercept. Now it's on. Who's chasing? Mac Hansen is flying. Gets back in time for the Lions. To and fro we go. In the blink of an eye from 122 to another. But it's put to boot. And now the Force have to cover in defence. Robertson can't hold on. Under no real pressure. But the kick is only as good as the chase, and Mac Hansen doing all the chasing on both occasions. Lovely interception. It was Donaldson. They were away, but Mac Hansen had other ideas. And just a loose pass, but you have to catch them, I guess. Very to Robertson. Couldn't hold on to it. We're going to restart with the scrum to the Lions. And now we're inside the 22. Just about on the 22 of the Western Force here. 15 metres in. From this right-hand touchline, it's Alex Mitchell to feed. Penalty, says the referee. The tide slowly starting to turn in the favour of the Lions in terms of scrums. And it's Marley Pearce pinned by the referee. At scrum time, the Lions put it into touch. Straight down on the far side. And rightfully so, penalty awarded to the Lions. Looking for try number 7. Andrew Porter, you feel, has stabilised the scrum since it's come on. Taken in by the Lions as they look for a driving maul. Use it once comes the call from the referee, Mitchell. Hugh Jones couldn't get away there, lost forward in the process. Almost through the half gap was Hugh Jones. But just lacking accuracy. Taken down by Hamish Stewart by the ankles. As we see another replacement, Bailey Kunzel on the field. Perhaps the error rate a little bit too high for the liking of Andy Farrell. But nonetheless, we'll be pleased with the reading of the scoreboard as we see Marcus Smith also on the field for the Lions, replacing Finn Russell, so he's in at 10. We know he likes to play with ball in hand. But the Force will be looking to clear their lines here. Robertson to feed. Just about on the own 5-metre mark. Strong scrum from the Lions. Robertson manages to get it out. Throws a loose pass. The Force still have it. Just outside there, or inside their 22, I should say. 10 metres in from this right-hand touchline. Robertson will shape with the kick from the base. Looks for touch, finds a safe one. It's all a little bit disjointed at the moment for the Western Force as this game wears on. The Lions starting to hit their stride. A number of things they won't be happy with. Perhaps, as we said, the error rate in terms of unforced errors. And then, of course, the restarts. A real contentious issue at the moment. The Force doing a number on their opposition a few times already in this game. But it's Sheehan to feed for the Lions on the 10-metre mark on this right-hand touchline. Ollie Chesham safe off the top to Alex Mitchell. Mac Hansen can't hold on to it. It's knocked on there by the right winger. Another unforced error on the stat sheet. Starting to add up now. Looking to shift wide from first phase there, but Mac Hansen just couldn't hold on to the pass. Of course, later on this afternoon, we're building up to the South African Barbarians clash in Cape Town. We look out for that one. Do tune in here on Forever Sports as we continue this rugby journey. They've set the tone here, have these two teams, the Lions, finding their rhythm in the second half, you feel. Playing much of that first half inside their own territory this time around. Keeping the Western Force at bay. We're on the 10-metre mark. 20 metres in from this left-hand touchline. Free kick, says the referee. Robertson plays quick. Great spot tackle from Mac Hansen. Loose pass goes into touch. The pass lacking accuracy there from the Force. You feel with a little under 15 minutes to play in this game, Andy Farrell will be looking for his Chargers to get a couple more tries, just so they can get those reps in as we build up, of course, to the 3-match test series against Australia. It's off the top for the Force as they play. It's a kick pass. Is there space? How does the ball bounce? Unfavorably for Greeley on this right wing and into touch. We're inside the half still of the Western Force, and it's going to be the Lions to feed. Of course, the British and Irish Lions will be playing against the Queensland Reds in midweek, followed by next week, Saturday, against the Waratahs as they build up to that first test on the 12th of July. Alex Mitchell, the Lions in possession now, working their way to the 10-metre mark of the Force here. It's Henry Pollock with ball in hand. Clever player who has seen what he can do with ball in hand. They set up another ruck. They look to play open side, right to left. Will Stewart with the soft hands. Tui Polatu. Daly, there's space now. Who's out wide? It's Joe McCarthy. Stretching his long legs. He's got a try already. Well over the advantage line. James Lowe in at first receiver. They need quick ball here, the Lions. Smith with the kick pass. How's the bounce? It finds a blade of grass in field, but into touch. Pinning the Western Force back. Great work by Joe McCarthy out on this left wing. Came back in field. The ball was recycled. The kick pass from Marcus Smith, just perhaps lacking a bit of accuracy, but nonetheless finding a blade of grass before it went into touch. The Lions pick up the loose line out, and here they come. Charging ahead, only 3 meters out. It's a loose pass, or it's a loose ball, in fact. Pounced on by the Force, 2 meters from their own try line. Desperation stuff. They managed to clear, but it is Elliot Daly who's back in cover. As he comes charging ahead, can he find support? James Lowe keeps it alive, finds Henry Pollock. Penalty to the Lions. They came running back at the Western Force, and we find ourselves back inside the red hot danger zone, as they will surely put it out into touch and set up a line out 5 meters out from the Force try line via the boot of Marcus Smith. Elliot Daly with the quick feet. The support was good from James Lowe. Managed to stay in field and find Henry Pollock, who seems to be everywhere, making amends for his earlier yellow card. Ever present is the number 8 of the Lions, and it's Kelleher now on the field to feed the line out. He finds McCarthy, and they look to come charging ahead with the driving maul, inch by inch. All the forwards getting stuck in there. The ball is available. Use it, says the referee. They're playing under penalty advantage. Tui Polatu lost it backwards, and they've gone back a few meters, but Mitchell to Van der Fleer. The Lions can't do anything with the free play, but we're coming back for the penalty. They'll look to put it out again. Just get those reps in terms of the driving maul, the Force having to defend for dear life. You feel they're running out of steam. The momentum has shifted. An important set here for the Lions to get their 7th try. Kelleher to feed. This time off the top to Mitchell. And it's Tui Polatu who takes it up. They're 4 meters out now, the Lions, via Pollock. They're under the sticks. Only 4 meters out. McCarthy looking to get over that vantage line. He's brought to ground. It's slow ball, but they still have possession. They'll look to pick and go now. Will Stewart. They're 2 meters out. Van der Fleer just short. Henry Pollock looks to stretch his legs and get it over the line, but they can't do so. The Lions keep it in tight at the moment. Mitchell, Smith holds it up for Daly. Yes, sir. Try time. That is try number 7 for the British and Irish Lions, and that is a brace for Elliot Daly. And they run rampant in the second half. That's their 4th try without response. And the fullback is over for his 2nd. They're up to 45. Make it 47. The kick is over. 8 minutes to play. The Lions in full control. You feel the bench has had an impact on this game, especially the tight forwards at scrum time, asking questions of Andy Farrell that he has to answer come test week. The restart Pumped into touch by James Lowe. Put deep into the Lions 22, but James Lowe with the reliable, magnificent left boot finds a safe touch. Johan Rugby shout out. Kickoff is at 5:10 South African Standard Time, live in Cape Town. We will be here on Forever Sports taking you through it. It's a last line out for the Force, and the Lions come charging ahead. Put to the boot along the ground. The cover's there, but it's hurried into touch. The Lions with the net territorial gain. Frankie Bell says 7 tries with 8 minutes to go for the Lions. It took them time to get going, but sounds okay apart from bizarre errors. You've hit it on the head there, Frankie. Really took them some time to find their rhythm. Off the top of the lineup they go. Mitchell to Marcus Smith to centre field. Just outside the 22, McCarthy. Really coming into his own in the second half. They keep it alive. The Force really having to defend for so long. It's taken its toll. It's evident now. The Lions really finding their rhythm. Mackinson to Daly. Wrapped up. We're still outside the 22, not making much headway for the moment, are the Lions. But it's quick ball for Mitchell. Backwards says free. It almost popped up for the Force. Chisholm out the back to James Lowe, but it's Jack Conan out in the trams on this left wing. He couldn't hold on to the pass. Another unforced error. The Lions won't be happy with that. They set themselves high standards. All these players, the cream of the crop at international level. You've got to set the bar high if you want to play for the Lions. He won't be happy with that, and Andy Farrell certainly doesn't look happy with that. And in case you've just tuned in, it's the British and Irish Lions ahead by 47 points to 7. 7 tries, plays 1. 3 in that first half, 4 in the second half. Importantly, unanswered in the second half. The Western Force have just had no opportunity to reply. Perhaps played themselves dead in that first half. But here they come at scrum time, looking to attack from inside their own half on the 10-metre mark. Now the Lions wrap them up, but they've made it to halfway. 15 metres in from this right-hand touchline. Ripped out of the tackle, and here we go again on the boot. The chase is on. Donaldson has to go back and clear. Desperation stuff from the Force. They've managed to clear up and recycle the ball, but they're 5 metres from their own try line. Robertson's kick is charged down. Who wants it? Here's an opportunity now for the Western Force up to halfway. Can they spread it wide? There is numbers, but just not on that occasion. Getting over that vantage line, the British Lions. Defensive effort. You've got to give credit where it's due. A couple of unforced errors, a couple of mistakes at the restart. But defensively, they've been strong. But still in possession are the Western Force. Advantage, says the referee, Robertson. Looking for the little chip and chase. Under free play, penalty advantage. Energy sapping stuff here. They trail by 40 points. They'll be looking for some sort of consolation. Or the Western Force as they put it into touch. Just outside the 22 on this left-hand touchline. Not really tested in the second half were the Lions. This goes to show when you put any sort of positional pressure on the opposition, you got to convert it into points to let the scoreboard keep ticking. But it is the Western Force to feed via Nick Dolly here. And unfortunately on that occasion, an unforced error. At line-out time for the Force, and the Lions will have an opportunity. Marcus Smith is going to look to put it high. They want one more. Surely now they can do it. He does put it high with a contestable. The Force come charging back. It's Greeley just losing his footing there. We're just about on halfway centre field. Not committing numbers at the breakdown are the Lions. Lovely ball out down this left wing. Marcus Smith and Jack Conan looking after the attacking player, but it's a penalty again. Offside, says the referee, Ben O'Keefe. Ollie Chesham pinned by the referee, offside at ruck time. Little over 2 minutes, under 2 minutes should I say. And the Force will have one final opportunity. 47-7. Before the game, one could have predicted a scoreline similar to this one. But some nervy moments in that first half for the British and Irish Lions. Although they went into the lead at 21 points to 7, they definitely did not have it all their own way. Dolly to feed. Can he get it right this time? 10 metres out. Looking to close the show with the try here, the Western Force. Finn Russell has been near perfect from the kicking tee, missing only one conversion, 6 out of 7. Opting for the corner where there were kickable penalties, choosing the positive play, wanting to get those reps in. You feel there's some questions that were answered, but perhaps some questions that they still need to have answered as they build up to that test week. It's the Force in possession still, going from left to right, but still staying on the 22, running out of attacking ideas. Oh, the Force, but still in possession. The defence not letting off. They want to keep it at one score. And it's thrown loose. McHanson looks to break clear, and that's what defensive pressure can do. The transition now to attack. Can the Lions close the show with a try of their own? Daly to James Lowe. Back to James Lowe. They keep it alive, the players. Still hungry to score, to get downfield. Pollock from Mitchell. High tackle. Elliot Daly finding Sione Tuipulotu. Now it opens up for Hansen. Yes, a try! Mitchell does what a scrum-half does. And that's how we'll close the show. Try number 8. The Force had a penalty. They put it into the danger zone of the Lions. It went from left to right. It's supposed to go forward, but credit to the defense. They held out, and then the transition to attack under penalty advantage for the high shot on Henry Pollock, but it was Tui Polatu who found McHanson, who found Mitchell, who goes over for the try. And that is try number 8. They're up to 52 with the kick to come. The conversion to close the show. But what a way for the Lions to finish. A statement of intent. And it's Alex Mitchell, the replacement scrum off, who gets on the try scoring sheet. The conversion successful. And that, folks, is that. It's a wrap. The British and Irish Lions take it by 54 points to 7. You feel that second half was the undoing of the force with all those unanswered points. 33 unanswered points, 5 tries with no response. And such, we sit with a scoreline of 54 points to 7. From myself, Roots, here on Forever Sports, it's been an absolute pleasure. Do stay tuned for the Springboks and Barbarians as we build up to that kickoff this afternoon at 5:10 here on Forever Sports. But until then, bye for now.